So more than a couple, key barriers that we went over from the needs assessment was communication of appropriate, timely, clear information. There was some inconsistency between state, federal, and commercial requirements, and both processors and growers felt that as a pressure. And they cited confusing websites as one of their big issues. Moving forward, other buyer pressures and requirements, they felt that the industry was one step behind where they were expected to be. Harmonized gap sometimes wasn't available in the places where these growers or processors might be, or for that one, it was growers. Time, we've all heard it, it's hard to find the time to do things even though people are offering to help. Paperwork, just the sheer volume, the labor with language barriers, worker training, and cost of infrastructure upgrades, including bathrooms or hand washing station. The grant structure was inconsistent, at least in the eyes of the listening session participants, including processors and growers, and they felt like it was competition due to the limited amounts of grants that they felt that were available to them, with funding sources being more available to growers than for processors. And in understanding regulation, the ambiguity in interpretation posed a difficulty, including the difficulty in the requirement not being something that people were aware of until it was almost too late and it was a problem at their audit or inspection. And the need for technical assistance in applying this regulation to their own operations and interpreting what the regulation means in terms of their own operation. And just the culture or mindset change with farming, moving forward with produce safety, and kind of changing the way you look at your operation in order to put on your food safety lenses. That's about it.
So that was one update we had in the needs assessment session, and then we also had Hannah Doyle present on a literature review that was part of a systematic review of needs assessments more generally, so not looking to do another needs assessment, but looking at systematically at some of the other needs assessments that had been done and what we can learn from them. I'm just going to go to the one.
Perfect. Great. Yeah, I didn't know I was going to have to do it again. So this is a literature review in the attempt of not duplicating all of the needs assessments that have been done in the last 20 years. We wanted to sort of compile and see what we can learn from the needs assessments that have been done already. So what emerged from the literature review was a framework or contextual dimensions to think about what the needs are for this is for small and medium-sized producers, focused on the Northeast, but probably could be expanded to talk about the whole nation. So the needs that emerged were training, knowledge, time, capital, and mindset. And then the factors that influence those needs were farm size, farm type, region, and market. And we talked a lot in the breakout groups, which were so helpful, about specific examples, successes, and challenges. This was, as part of the larger systematic review, this literature review was kind of the first step. Survey the landscape, see what's been done already, and then this is a really important part of the process to ground truth it, and I presented it to you guys to see, is there anything that I'm missing? What has been left out? Who has been left out? Can we think of anything that growers need that doesn't fit under one of those umbrella terms, or a way that a farm's needs might be different from, or barriers to compliance might be disproportionate, that isn't represented here by one of the factors that influence those needs. So it was really great to be able to talk to you guys and have you report back and see what you think. Yeah. Next steps, hopefully publishing and incorporating the feedback from today.
And thanks, Hannah. The other thing we did was, as part of the breakout sessions on the way out the door, did some voting, some dot voting, and we asked 2 questions. What's the need that is the highest priority in your mind in the region, and what is the need that is something we can do the most about? And so didn't have time to crunch that data, but just looking at it visually, pretty high ratings for training and knowledge being both areas of need, high priority need, and also areas where this group, those who were in the room, were able to do something about. Also some really good examples in that discussion, which will come out in the notes, of specific examples of success. It was really encouraging to hear some of the places where, for example, people have found creative solutions to helping people access capital for a project by looking at co-management opportunities between produce safety and nutrient management or environmental impact, for example. And also some really neat approaches to helping with the mindset barrier, particularly coming into a training that people don't necessarily feel like they really want to be at, but have to be at. And so turning that frown upside down, as the case may be. So some really great examples of that. Also some very candid discussions about what challenges remain, and then looping back on the other piece that came out of this was we're presenting this as 5 independent needs and 4 independent influencing factors. The thing that came out of this discussion as well was this thing will change in time in terms of what the needs are, what the specific impact is for a specific producer, but also there's interaction between these things. Increased capital can provide increased time by contracting support in, or new training will improve knowledge and things like that. Early and easy success on things can improve mindset. You gain confidence when you've had success. So pretty interesting landscape to be thinking about future work in.